Hello YouTube, and welcome back to the TryCraft server. This is Kankadia. We are playing Crackpack 2, and I had a visit, and he's actually online, so I might be able to get a comment later, but I got a sign here that says, "What do you mean there's no pranks, Eddie?" I made a comment in a previous video that there really was a lack of pranking on the server, and I kind of missed that in the old Minecraft days. So I'm kind of curious if he put something around here. I like just logged on, so I want to record because I came on here. Snow pinks, you say, Eddie? Oh, I thought that might be a problem. Okay, so I'm not quite sure how much of this I showed you. Last episode is probably quite a bit I've been building, and that's not quite done. But one thing I did do is I did install this fertilizer and composter here. This is now actually overflowing. This thing is probably full. This I can't open it, but this chest I think is full, as is this here, which is a lot. Actually, I'm pretty positive that it is, because this goes into here. Yeah, from the composter. The composter is full. It keeps draining, so stuff keeps going into here, but has nowhere else to go, so it picks up in this way. So over here, I've got poop. Over here, I started working into GrowthCraft a little bit. I've got some GrowthCraft hops over here. I'm actually going to make 2 lines of wine here. Just make a couple of small batches. And over here, I've got some rice from GrowthCraft. I think I can just go like this. Yep. And replant it. So what you do, it's actually a little hard to find because the GrowthCraft wiki is a piece of crap. What you do is why is that not registering? Okay, I have to reset. So what you do for GrowthCraft rice is you get the rice by breaking seeds. You take the rice, put it into what you do is you take a hoe, you make farmland, then you either hit it with a shovel or with a bucket. And if it doesn't work that way, oh, wrong one. Stop. Sorry about that. What you do is you take either a bucket or with a shovel. This one is being resistant, so you have to take a bucket, drop it on top of that. There you go. And it turns it into this stuff, rice paddy. Then you can plant the rice seeds there, and it will eventually grow. That's gonna make some sake once I get around to it. And the hops, of course, is used to make beer. So this one's actually a little trickier to make. That's why I did. You can make it up to pretty high up. So this is one configuration that I'm using. You take a fence post and put it up to the height you want. And then at the top layer, you make a line of fencing here at the top layer with rope also attached to it. And then you take the rope, this is the tricky part, from this block up there, that one, all the way down until the bottommost block. It will come up to right about halfway through this bottom block. Then you take the hops, which you get as a random drop from breaking, you guessed it, all these vines around here. You get to take the hops, you plant it in the dirt, in the farmland underneath it, so I have a block of water right behind there. Then you hit it with some bone meal, and it shoots right up. So this is one way of doing hops. Hops is actually a little easier to manage, as far as I can tell, because it's a little more robust. Wines, grapes is a little bit different. I'm not going to do that on camera. I'm going to do it off camera. Here's my understanding about how to do wine. Basically, you do similar kind of thing, as in my case. Take fencing. It's actually going to be about that high. Take a rope, and I think it has to be 3 high from the bottom. In the middle, and I believe it has to be, the reason this is interior is a 7. So you go into the middle here, 3 blocks to each side. In the middle, make this into farmland. Then you take the grapes, like so. I guess I'm going to do this on camera, and you drop them. Now the problem is that this grape trunk needs rope in order to spread. So you have to I have to look up the wiki, make sure, I think not wiki, the videos to make sure, but I'm pretty sure you need to take a rope and draw it across here. The grapes will spread up, and eventually it will spread 3 in either direction. I think I'll actually go more than that, but that's my figure. So I'm going to make 2 of those. I think it's too far away, so I need to make a second water source block just to make sure that this next one stays in the right place. So yeah, and also I installed a couple of these abyssal stone lanterns. I really like these things. I think it was Darcy in last season who used these a lot around spawn, and I love them so much I decided to put them up here. So it's just abyssal stone, which I have in spades. More of that to come later. And I've got some nether brick fence, just by cooking down some nether rack. and I got a couple of them. I still have a couple torches around here. I have not gone through the work of checking out, trying to see, make sure there are no spawn areas. I do not want to install a magnum torch in this area. The reason being is I think it does affect cursed earth growth, and that will affect my spawner down there. So what the heck is he talking about? Snow pinks, you say? So I'm guessing he meant snow pranks. I sometimes misspeak. Oh, sorry, latest death. That was because of a wisp. I actually now have the wisp form. I can turn that back into that. The reason is that I was able to kill a wisp here that actually killed me beforehand. That was because it was mostly because of lag, and also because it just was a really hard thing to do to try and hit a wisp with. Where did I put it? All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up. This is my boomstick. Why do I call this a boomstick? This is an enchanted musket with power 4 and flame 1. This is a pretty nice little thing. I've used up a lot of durability. One thing that's unfortunate about Vulcan's weapon mod is you cannot really repair your weapons once you make them. So this thing actually has, it's a normal musket which is made with iron, but it actually has, you can kind of see the little blue part. This actually has a diamond bayonet attached to it. That's why the attack damage is fairly high. So even if I can't shoot, I just go like this, and it does the equivalent of a diamond dagger, which is not too shabby. So again, I'm a little bit behind. I'm not quite sure what I showed you last time, but I did in fact go and build 2 more islands, like I said I was going to, over here. And I actually connected them with these little bloodwood slab bridges. So over here, this is a little reminder. This is actually a malachite block. More on that in a minute. This is actually a reminder of where the center is. This is a, I believe it's a this is a 31. Including this block, it's a 15 block radius half sphere, just like that, which is a 62. No, it's 63 diameter. No, 30 radius. That one's 30 radius. This one's half size, so it's 15 radius. And it's just pretty basic. I have a flat area here, and it's also hollow. So I go down this elevator. Got this little second floor down here. And this area is going to be, well, I'm not sure what to do in this hollow area, but the top part is eventually going to be my Thaumcraft mana bean farm. And I'm going to end it once I get a chance. I just need a lot of flat area, and this should fit the bill nicely. As the last stuff I don't really understand about mana bean farming, especially with using golems. It's kind of confusing, but not impossible, I think, so I'm going to try it. I have made a bit more progress in TryCraft. I made a NASA workbench, made a refinery. Still haven't found any oil at the moment. Yes, boobies, recording. And I've also got a launch pad here with a fuel loader, and I've got a small lead-zone energy cell as a power source. I find you don't need that much power for these things, so you might as well use it when you have it at the time. One thing I did connect is I made an oxygen collector and compressor with, now I have got a whole bunch of large oxygen tanks. I always want to have a spare. I always want to make a spare. Popular day. Spare oxygen tank, so I want to have a lot left over. Let me just actually remove that latest death. The one unfortunate thing about TryCraft is that it does continuously draw power, especially some of the stuff. I remember in Bevo's Tech Pack, I actually had the oxygen set up in the science building powered with energy cells. The reason is that this oxygen collector and this compressor, if they're attached to the system, will continuously draw power, and that's a waste of power, especially considering these things are useless because I have plenty of oxygen. So the only thing I could do after much experimentation is literally to take either this crescent hammer over here, that's why I have it on this, or my battle-hardened Invar battle wrench, and right-click on the energy conduit. That will start this thing or stop it. One thing that's unfortunate is there actually is something in Ender IO. These are Ender IO conduits in Ender IO, which is called a conduit switch, and I thought what that did is allowed you to switch on and off conduits, but no, it doesn't. It's actually a redstone switch, so it actually acts as a sort of a switch between redstone signal lines, which unfortunately do not interact with the conduits themselves. So that didn't work. But anyway, I got this thing pretty much running. The power situation is still a bit of a problem, but I did manage to solve it somewhat by upgrading my power now to tier 3. I've got a tier 3 over here, and I have a tier 4 over this way. So work my way up. Remember, there's 6 tiers in solar flux, so I need to work my way up from that. But this thing, solar panel 3, let me just show you. Solar panel 3 produces 64 RF per tick at its height. Remember, solar panels is all about maximum generation. It generates less during the lesser solar parts of the day, the evening and the morning and the end. I had to upgrade it because I made a couple of additions to my AE system and also some other parts too. One thing is I did actually install an ME controller. I don't think I'm going to need more than one, but I did need a second one because I installed this thing, ME security terminal, because I wanted to run. I haven't got so much stuff in my inventory. Here we go. I wanted to run. Oh, there it is. This, my wireless terminal. Pretty cool, isn't it? So in order to make this wireless terminal, you do actually need a security terminal. So you have to just take this, drop it in here. That's really all it's for. This security terminal is primarily for, like, if you want people other than yourself to have access to your AE system, you can set biometric sensors and that kind of stuff. But for me, I just wanted to be able to do a wireless terminal, so it does have to be here for that. The problem, and the reason I upgraded my power, which is still insufficient unfortunately, is down here. This thing. The ME wireless access point. I love this thing. I love the concept of it. Basically, what this does is it allows you to get the security terminal, allows you to add the wireless terminal to the network and have it recognized. This allows you to actually function. And unfortunately, the default range of this access point is 16 meters. 16 meters is about halfway down each of these modules, which is not very far at all. It is essentially like what do you call it? It's essentially like not having this ME craft terminal, but it's useless because this is a wireless terminal, not a wireless crafting terminal. So yeah, not the most useful thing. Now what I want is I want to be able, the reason I made the terminal in the first place, is I want to be able to do stuff over here. This is going to be my witchery area. This is the same size as the other island. In the middle, it's actually got, what is that? Amber? Yeah, it's got a block of amber to show the middle. And at the bottom, it's got, just an ordinary little place. I put a infinite spring down there. I'm actually going to do cool stuff down there when I get a chance. I might make an obsidian cage if I want to do some demons something in the future. But right now, I've got a witch's cauldron and I've got a upgraded witch's oven. So not too much stuff going on so far. I am definitely going to get into witchery when I get a chance. I've just got so much other stuff to work on. Not at least of which is when we get to this episode, which is spawn. I am going to. Ooh, look, it already started to grow. Which is spawn. I'm going to start building my train. That's what I'm going to do this episode. Oh, I also want to show you. I made this. This is actually a variation of the sludge boiler system I had over in spawn in last season. So basically using Ender IO this time. So we've got this is the input for sludge. It goes into here, in through this, through these pressurized fluid conduits, into the sludge boiler. The sludge boiler boils the sludge, turns it into items, puts into this chest. Because unfortunately, Ender IO cables, Ender IO conduits, and MFR item exposers, kind of like that we had a problem with the fertilizer over there, they don't always work well together, so it's much easier to have the sludge boiler export it to a chest and then take the chest and that export to another chest over here. So this is what I've gotten. Actually, I emptied it recently, so I've gotten some red sand, I've gotten some soul sand, all the good stuff, and so it's just powered by this little basic capacitor, and it doesn't take that much power at all. Plus, I really found out you can actually put a capacitor inside another capacitor, so I can just take this thing, hit it with a wrench, and bring it upstairs and power it. And the throughput is 1 kilowatt RF per tick, so it powers pretty quickly. So I'm very pleased with that. So yeah, that's mostly what I got here. I am kind of wondering what Eddie did, because I'm seeing signs. Oh, and I don't think I've showed you up here yet. I have an idea of what I want to do at the top here, but it's going to require a bit more work than I have at the moment. Essentially, I want to make kind of a gem or a gemstone right at the top, and I would like to try and set it up with drawbridges, but right now it's kind of like an aesthetic thing, and I'm kind of focusing on building machinery and that sort of stuff. So let's see, what else? Oh, wait, is that? No, that's one of my signs. Sorry, I got to sign up. This is my sign. It says MJ Power goes here. Okay, so I don't think I see anything from Eddie. So it might have just been a threat or maybe a portent of things to come. I, for one, welcome pranking. I think it's a great way to interact between members of the same server. It's a great way to give content give extra content to subscribers. And it's also a way to show your creativity. I mean, anyone can just, build a bomb and put it in someone's base or put lava all the way. So that's not very creative. But the really creative ones, they will find ways to say, "Oh man, you got me good." That's what I'm kind of hoping for. And I have a couple ideas that I've had on the back burner for a couple of months. I'll be honest. A couple of them involve witchery. Some of them I think involve chickens, and some of them may involve ice. And we'll see what happens when that pans out. But for the moment, I've got my islands here. Oh, one other cool thing I did, I put vines not only right around my garden area, but also on both of the islands. So eventually, I think those will go pretty close to the floor of the forest. Unfortunately, you do have to have blocks behind vines in order for them to be climbable. But at least now they're pretty good for aesthetics. Okay, so I'm going to get some stuff together, and I'm going to meet you guys at spawn. Yeah, just went downstairs. Snow business like snow business, Eddie. I like it. This is what he says. It's a baby one to start the balls rolling. Oh man. So if I had to guess, judging by these trails here, I'd say he spawned. Yep. Aw. He spawned in a couple of snow golems. Yeah, I see him. I wonder. Yeah, you're totally right about that, Eddie. Can't get good staff nowadays. Yeah, he must have climbed up on top of this chest and then got into my little area here. But it should be fine. My only concern is that it looks like this guy is. I think he's keeping. Oh no, maybe not. Oh. Yeah, he's fine. These sheep should be able to find the grass to eat and regain their wool. Oh, where's the other sheep? Did that guy escape again? I swear, these animals are smarter than they look. All right, so well played, Eddie. Very well played. So I'm gonna clean this up off camera, and I'll meet you guys at spawn.